Beautiful afternoon and God bless to all. This is just a little update in the rant for the food and the shots. Now, first, I'm not really exactly where all the information comes. You can research, find it yourself. And real quick, I'm not suicidal. Everything is hypothetical. Nothing could ever be real until you do research and find out the exact opposite. But anyways, we have to say that, right? We don't want to end up like Hillary here. Anyways, so this rant is about food and shots. And I've been getting so much information from every source getting thrown at me. I'm just surprised. I'm wondering, why am I getting this information on purpose? Am I the only one that is being flooded with absorbent amounts of research and facts? Whenever you look at them, it's like I can't believe that we actually fell for all that. So let's start off with the food one. This is one that kind of took me a while there to finally realize. Whenever you actually look into it, holy crap, everything we eat is different than what we used to. The ingredients, the way the animals are raised, the way they are maintained, even the vaccinations and shots they give to the animals. I'm just very bewildered on why something that is all natural would require maybe 2 ingredients now requires 10 to 15, and there's always an addictive in there, multiple. It doesn't matter which product you pick. Anything that is mass produced from the government, from pretty much any company that has any hand with none of those child people, whatever those guys are, and the government, or that big country. It's like, I don't know if he's real or is real not real. I don't know if he's real or not, but it's something to do with that guy also. But how come the food just keeps getting worse and worse? The longevity of it, the food will outlive you on half these products we have now because of all the horrible stuff they put in there. The majority of this from asbestos, rat poison, you name it, and you can find it about any one of those fast food restaurants whenever you go through every single ingredient. And I don't get why, especially if you are literally killing people, you'd put the poisonous ingredients right on there. And a lot of them, yeah, it's later, it'll affect you. And yeah, the majority of all food can cause cancer with time. It's just very confusing. And here's something that a lot of other people don't really recognize or notice or even remember, because it was never part of their generation or even thought process to begin with. Every other country has deworming for bugs, for parasites, everything from every stage of those things that get inside you that cause cancer, all these long-term, lifelong ailments that are caused by these parasites. And other countries, you can actually cure that. I think that's a sinful word here, especially with the system we have. We're not allowed to have cures, and we're not allowed to do that unless it's something that we can publicize, or if you're rich and powerful, of course, you're already taking all those things. You're taking deworming, you're taking parasite medication, well, not medication, but the stuff to get it out of your system. But here, no. It's boils down to, at least everything that I've seen, that they, of course, don't want you to get better and be cured. Every single thing that they're doing, at least with food, that has been put in, I'd say in the past 30 years, just a little more bad until people don't realize they're not eating the same thing they used to eat. Even the flavors, the texture, and whoa, what's going on with our vegetables, guys? I had some avocados. It's really weird. Like half the avocados again, I can feel on the texture. They are not, I guess, organic. Sure, they're real. They're an item or entity that's like right there. But you go to open it up, the taste, the texture, nothing about it is normal. It's not a question of if it's just a bad fruit. It's been so many times and with so many products. The avocado is just one that's blatantly obvious because it's happening to a lot of people. And now your meats, same thing. And the government has kind of realized people are actually doing their research, and we're not just listening to them anymore. We're doing research. So isn't it magical how, let's say in the past few years, since this has become well known about not having enough people buried in the ground or enough, cremations or anything to match at least where the meat's going, And ironically, the point being that our meat has doubled to tripled in price. A steak that was $20 at Sam's 3 years ago is now 60, 70, 80. Really? Well, I think that must be the sole cause of if you want real meat. Meat that is not made up, meat that is not questionable from other locations. And I just am bewildered by this being our option of life, to have fake food that we know will poison us and kill us, or to be able to not afford something that is actually healthy and good for you. Whenever a salad is $10 and it's the same price as a double cheeseburger, it's just bewildering. I don't get it. Whenever the production cost doesn't match up. That's the same thing with fuel. Diesel's cheaper, you get more out of it compared to gas, but yep, gas is, of course, a cheaper now than diesel. Anyways, you should check that out. A little research on that one. So that's another little fun thing on the food topic. It's just upsetting to me that that is our option in life now, to eat something or have something that gives you those member berries that you know is awesome and you loved as a kid, and then you come to find out all the horrible stuff that is in there. You have to bend your own will to accept that you're going to eat something that is poisonous or just plain bad for you, whether short-term or long-term. But Americans, sadly, I believe a lot of us know what is actually in the food we're eating, and we're choosing to still eat it. It's a sad thing to not be able to afford healthy food, to be able to take care of yourself properly, because it's not an option. They have not made the system in America to go that direction. Unfortunately, it's going the exact opposite direction of control, where they get enough of it, anything happens, they have complete control because we have no real food and we don't know how they get it or make it, or everything would just straight up collapse. But I don't know, that's just all hypothetical. Nothing really you want to research. All right, now we got to go play on shots. Vaccinations. This is one that, sad but true, I was okay with the vaccinations. I just figured in the beginning that the masks were good because, if you're breathing stuff in, it's literally the item in which you smell is going physically into you. So if you smell somebody's fart, it's just very, very tiny pieces of their poo-poo going into your nose. So, it would be the same for these vaccinations. That way people wouldn't get sick and it stopped spreading it, but they just threw the vaccinations in there on the side. The mask, there's reasons for it. I believe it to be helpful. It depends on how the virus or whatever it is you're trying to protect against. It just depends on how it travels. But on shots, whenever you start hearing about the horse, check out my first upload of me talking about the horsey, and you'll get this a lot easier. So few people would say one thing like our kids aren't waking up after they get the vaccination. It's all within the same coordinated time frame, within a day or two or within a week. It's all within the time frame of getting a vaccination. And there's hundreds, probably thousands of tens of thousands, but that's just the ones the government has documented to be specifically for that. And before, they would just say, death of COVID, death being sick, but they would never say what it actually did to them. It's just a horrible thing that people know, at least they know now for a fact, that shot, there is stuff in it that the government will not admit. Now this is going to sound like a little big conspiracy theory, but do research. It's just astounding that everybody that actually pulls up the vaccinations or the shots, there's a few of them that have it in there, but they're like micro self-assembling, I guess nanobots would be the best way of putting it in there. There's no other way of really putting it. It's self-assembling pieces that reconstruct, it looks like a circuit board or a computer or something that is just not good for the body. Whenever somebody puts an erector set inside your body and won't tell you what it's doing or why it's doing it, that's something you should really check out, research, or maybe don't trust them. But I think the biggest giveaway in the beginning for me that something shady here, I just didn't feel right about it. How come the shots are not everywhere, but they're free from the government? And it's supposed to be like their cure. And The government and the word cure in the same sentence is something for you to really check out. So, whenever you start digging into it, isn't it about 4,000% more our odds, or something along the line, that you're going to have a lifelong ailment or severe reaction from taking it, and they still push it as what we should be doing? Kind of confused on that one. So they're going to give you something free, but whenever you check it out or, do any actually real research, I mean, when the private studies on here are just astounding that they are not publicizing them everywhere like the government would want to save the people, like they want them to get better. But compare it to like Mennonites or the Amish, I don't think there's ever been one confirmed case of autism, not one confirmed case for autism for the people that have not ever taken the shot. Kind of confusing. It's almost like it didn't exist until it was created. I don't know, but I know there was one or two they did pull up. I did do a little research into it, but ironically, yeah, those were adoptions, and their kids were vaccinated. Hilarious. But anyways, also, what about like blood clots? People are getting blood clots, I mean, just magically, to the point where it kills them almost immediately. And some of them, it's during very important events or during very important things that would be questionable for them to unalive. It's just almost like it's being used as some sort of not a weapon, no. It just seems like it might be something that people could be manipulating somehow, some way, to cause harm to people. That just seems, I don't know, just do your research on that one. And also, whenever, wasn't it Bill Gates? He flat out said that, yeah, it'll probably kill like, 1 to 3% of the people, but we expect that and that's what we want. Or I think the numbers were bigger, and the wording is not correct, of course. But I say that one is one worth watching. It really is. And am I the only one that's got a kind of a weird question on how come all the people we believe to and are just well known to be Satanists, and like the ones that work for the government and this and that, the ones that like that one guy Ball or Bale, anyways, how come they have to tell the truth? I believe I remember the answer, but I don't know. I just want you guys to think about it. If you noticed, all of them tell the truth. They just switch the wording or make it sound like it's just a joke, and they're flat out telling you the horrible things they're going to do, but with manipulated wording. So they can say, well, I said it, but they're telling somebody that they're telling the truth. Who are they telling this to? I mean, do they talk directly to that guy or whatever? I don't know. I just... kind of a weird thought process on that one. Anyways, guys, I guess I'll try again for another rant. I know there's a lot more stuff in there on the food and the shots that I'd love to go off on. Oh yeah, even Trump flat out admitted that it's a bad thing. You shouldn't take it. And I think it's like blacklisted now. And that's your vaccinations. The same ones that they give, isn't it like, between like 30 to 70 shots to you in your lifetime? And before we only needed like 4? I don't know. Check it out. Bye-bye.